Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We're going to begin with breaking news, and it is both startling and sobering. Tonight, the United States government is actively preparing to be attacked by its own citizens. CBS News has learned the FBI and other agencies are warning police departments across the country that extremists and militias are discussing a second assault on the U.S. Capitol, along with the White House or state capitals. The director of the FBI saying tonight he is concerned about conversations that are being picked up online about plans for multiple armed protests. And tonight, President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration is less than a week away. The iconic buildings and monuments to democracy here in Washington are now barricaded, surrounded by National Guard troops, cement barriers, and fences. Amtrak is now tightening its security, and some airlines will no longer allow passengers headed to Washington to check firearms. And there's now a nationwide dragnet for those involved in last week's insurrection at the Capitol. The FBI director saying tonight that investigators have already identified 200 suspects, warning more arrests are coming. And if that weren't enough tonight, the coronavirus crisis here in the U.S. keeps spiraling out of control, with the CDC now warning the situation is so dire, as many as 90,000 Americans could die from the virus in the next 3 weeks. Well, we've got a lot of new reporting for you and your family tonight. Our team is standing by. CBS's Kris Van Cleave is going to lead us our coverage right here in Washington. Good evening, Kris.
Nora, we're standing in the middle of K Street, just a few blocks from the White House, normally one of the busiest in town. Shut down tonight. Fences are going up. You know, we're 6 days from the inauguration, and already Washington is starting to feel like a fortress.
Tonight, barbed wire barriers around the Capitol, new barricades at the Pentagon, and the nation on increasingly high alert. The fear, Americans fighting Americans in the streets, a sight not seen since the Civil War.
We're in a somewhat unique period of time, unfortunately, in terms of the threats of violence and the level of threats.
And that's not going to stop January 21st.
That's correct. The inauguration is an accelerant. It is not the end.
Following what the FBI director called a concerning level of chatter, a joint federal intelligence bulletin warns the attack on the Capitol could be a significant driver of violence for armed militia groups and racist extremists who may wish to disrupt next week's inauguration. The bulletin, viewed by CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge, warned law enforcement nationwide to be on high alert for potential attacks on state capitals, federal buildings, businesses, even homes of lawmakers.
Law enforcement has multiple concerns. There's certainly the militia groups, the QAnon, Proud Boys, but there's also the concern for that lone wolf.
The Secret Service is considering closing the entire National Mall for the inauguration, a space usually open to hundreds of thousands who gather to watch the ceremony. Much of Washington's business district is already locked down with roads closed to traffic. And the number of National Guard troops deployed to D.C. could potentially pass 20,000. This evening, Vice President Mike Pence attended an inauguration security briefing at FEMA headquarters.
Anybody who plots or attempts violence in the coming week should count on a visit.
Some lawmakers are so concerned they're changing their schedules and buying bulletproof vests.
Our expectation is that someone may try to kill us.
But it's not just D.C. There's alarm coast to coast.
The messaging couldn't be clearer that there is ongoing discussions about attacks on government at all levels, and that we have to be in a heightened state of awareness, heightened state of deployment.
The entire LAPD, nearly 10,000 officers, have been told starting Monday to be in uniform through the inauguration. Michigan, Ohio, Oregon, and Wisconsin among the states now using the National Guard to help protect state capitals.
All 56 FBI field offices have set up command posts. Other federal agencies have told all of their officers to be on standby. And the U.S. Marshal Service is planning to deputize 3,000 to 4,000 local police officers from across the country to help with the inauguration here in Washington. Nora?
That's a law enforcement all hands on deck. All right, Kris Van Cleave, thank you.